What Best Buy do you typically shop?
I used to work for Best Buy in Homestead.
Okay.
The other Best Buy on Kendall Drive. That's one I go to.
Okay. So when you walk into Best Buy, the cell phone section, you know, this kind of, when you walk into the store, you have the unlocked phones, you have the service plans phones. This is that whole section. So what we're doing is going to be broken into 3 parts. The first is a feedback about the shop experience. The second is I want you to complete something. I have a task that we're going to be doing on a phone, right? So we're going to be kind of moving around and doing different things. The first part of it is going to be standing and kind of walking around. I'm going to set you up with, this is eye tracking. This essentially lets you, or lets us see exactly what you're looking at, okay? So you're going to hold this, and you're just going to put these on. Going to face this wall. You're going to put this at arm's length. You're going to stare at it for about 5 seconds, and then we should be good to go. Okay? Yep. So, and we are good to go. All right. So, we're going to start over here. Before we start browsing, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions. Who is your current cell phone service provider? Metro PCS. And how long have you been a Metro PCS customer? 2-3 months. Okay. And what made you decide to use Metro PCS?
Well, I broke my phone, so they had a deal where it's a free phone. We don't test it first. That worked out perfect.
Okay. And do you know if your phone is unlocked?
I don't. It unlocks after a few months, and then you use it for a carrier. But I think there's 3-4 months.
Okay.
It becomes unlocked.
And what does unlocked mean?
To me, it means you can use it for any provider. Okay.
Okay. So what we are going to do, and again, imagine that this is the unlocked phone section in Best Buy, is there are a lot of phones available. What I'd like for you to help me understand is, as you are looking to purchase an unlocked phone, what are the types of things that you look for as you are browsing the actual shelf? Okay? So we can go in any order that you want. Keep in mind there are 4 panels, so A, B, C, and E. In whatever order you want, as you are shopping, I'd like for you to tell me what stands out, what you're looking for. If you're eliminating a phone or brand, I'd like to know why. If you're including a phone or brand, I'd also like to know why. So I'm just going to be, so as you're doing this, you're going to be talking aloud. Okay. I may have some questions, but I'm really looking for you to help me understand what it is that you're doing.
Okay. Well, first thing, I'm usually looking at price. I probably look for the lesser price whenever I'm doing it.
Okay.
So and if I came in, I'd probably, I usually do it by price. I would usually start at the lower end, work my way up.
Okay. And by price, what is it that you typically look for?
Well, I'm the type of person where I break my phone very often, so I'm not looking for anything high end because I know I'm going to break it. Okay. I fish a lot very often.
Okay.
Not to make people very mad. So I usually start at the lower end and then I work my way here. I can't really tell. So something like this already catches my attention, since I am the type of person who is going to drop and break their phone. Here it'd be nice to have something on the screen, maybe to look at it and see what it looks like when it's on.
And when you say something to look at, are you just talking of, what are you talking about specifically?
Just how it looks when the phone is on, like the rest of these phones are all on. So this one will give you an idea of what the picture on the screen is going to look like.
Okay.
So just by it being off, we'll kind of turn away from this phone. This might make me turn away from just because it's off.
Okay. And what is it that you're looking for? You mentioned price.
Okay.
What else are you looking for?
I also like phones that are rugged.
Okay.
Okay, so I know Android had a couple of phones that were like waterproof and shockproof, something that can, withstand my type of lifestyle.
Okay. And how are you determining that?
By experience and knowing that I break phones very often, and I know that some phones come and they are shockproof and waterproof, things of that nature.
So again, knowing that you have a lot of phones, and all these panels to choose from, help me understand how you are
Choosing one from another.
reducing. Right, exactly, yeah.
Usually be price, so I'll look at price.
Okay.
So I see this one, 119,
Mhm.
and then I'll see what's the difference between this model and the most expensive model, and see what are the type of things that are going to separate me from, like I don't want to have a basic phone just because it's cheap. I want to have it to have certain capabilities. So
Like what?
I'm trying to think about my phone. It's not the top. It just trying to think off the top of my head. Size is one thing. I usually like a smaller phone. I usually like a bigger phone.
Okay.
Nice camera.
Okay.
Usually not the front-facing camera, but the rear camera is more important to me than the front-facing camera.
Okay. And how are you determining that by looking? And again, just help me walk through.
Well, if the phones were actually here and I can pick them up, maybe I would turn on the camera, look at the camera.
Okay.
The front-facing camera also, even though it's not as important. Maybe I'll do like a web browse really quickly. You can see how fast the process is and whatnot.
Okay.
But like I said, I would usually start at the lower end of the price and then just mess with those models until I say, okay, this is not enough for me, and then I have to move up. Say, okay, this is enough for me or too much for me, then I would have to move it back. So like a stylus for me is not very important. I'm not usually writing on my phone.
Okay. How important is name brand?
I think it's very important. I usually like to go with Samsung. Samsung is usually the phone that I have. I think 80% of my phones have been Samsung. Maybe I had a Motorola before, maybe one LG, but I would say 80% of them have been Samsung.
Okay. So we haven't really started reducing the amount of handsets that we are seriously considering. So start, at least to help me understand, what are you immediately saying, you know what, I'm not looking here, I'm not looking here, I'm looking here, or this is a strong contender for, one of my final phones that I'm going to consider buying?
Okay. Versus the price, like I said.
Okay.
So even if it's, like I said, $9 I can purchase. So anything that's about, from $100 to $300 is something I'm looking at.
Okay. And then from those handsets, what are you using to further reduce the field?
Style is important as well.
Style meaning?
Just the look of the phone, I can't really explain to it, but I feel like you can tell what a cheap phone looks like. It's like, my phone right here. No, it's not. It looks like my phone. But this one looks newer for some reason, just the style of it. This one over here doesn't look as, modern. I can't really say why, but it's just like an instinct from knowing so many devices, always having a cell phone.
Okay. And with your current phone, did you have an opportunity to actually play with the model before you purchased it?
I didn't have an opportunity, but I did a lot of research on it. So when I just got to the store, I said, you know what, that's the phone I want. I bought it.
Okay.
So I think online is one way that I like to look at reviews before I buy anything, and then Best Buy or whatnot, I'm gonna make a purchase there, yeah, I would definitely mess around with it.
Okay, so thinking about, yeah, and I'd like to get over there too. So thinking about you walking into a store, would you have completed research prior to you even coming to the store?
Most likely.
Okay.
Especially if I'm gonna make the purchase that day and I know I'm making that purchase, probably 99% sure that I will do a lot of research beforehand.
Okay.
And also I would know the promotions of what's going on.
Mhm.
And that's another big reason why I would be making that purchase to begin with.
Oh, because of promotions.
Correct.
Okay. So you already talked about price and, from the 100 to 300 range. You talked about, whether or not the phone looks stylish or new or if it's good quality. What else are you looking at? And we can, let's make sure that we also include the other panel. What else are you looking at in order to finalize your purchase?
That's a good question. I would definitely read a few of the promotions going on and see if that fits what I'm doing. As far as all the promotions that were here, the one that would jump out to me most was this one right here.
Okay.
So a promotion that would protect my phone, knowing that I'm usually destroying them.
Okay.
Unlocked is a big one also, so having it unlocked is a good one because I have changed providers, probably 3 different providers in the last year or so.
Okay.
And that was based on the service area.
Right.
So I go to the Everglades every so often to do fishing, and T-Mobile doesn't provide there, Metro doesn't provide there, AT&T is the only one that provides there.
Okay.
Same thing here, I would be looking at price. This looks like something would be in my price range. It shows the phone. I like that this box shows the phone, whereas these other boxes don't really show the phone.
Okay. So if you had to, let's say, pick a top 3
Of these phones.
what are your top 3 and why? And as you're looking at this, I'd like to understand what you're looking for or what you're looking at.
Okay, it's kind of difficult because some of these things you can't even read the details on them. So those
Right.
kind of things are what I would be looking at. Because basically here you can't really tell anything from,
Right.
the description, the pricing, why is it this pricing, what's the discount? So it's a little difficult with these models, but.
So rather than focus on what's there, let's talk about what you would like to be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Screen size, processing speed, how fast it is compared to the competitors. Let me give you a second to see. So this one looks like it'd be in my area, but this one is cheap, but it doesn't look like a phone. From this, it doesn't look like it has good quality. So, see, this one looks pretty decent. It's a cheap price. So far it'd be this one.
And why are you picking this one over this one?
First it would be the price.
Okay.
And they look very similar.
Okay.
To begin with. So those two, if I'm going to pay for basically the same thing, I'm going to go with the cheaper price.
And what features are you comparing?
Well, since I can't physically grab them, I have to go off of just basically the look and how clear the screen looks compared to, let's say, this one right here.
Okay.
A lot fuzzier. This one looks clear, even if it is a photocopy of,
Right.
it still looks clear now.
Okay. And again, I mean, thinking about the information that you would like to see here as you're comparing handsets.
Battery life, charge time. Not really interested in things like facial recognition or anything like that. Battery life is a really big one. would say my top ones would probably be based solely off of price, basically, because that's usually my first motivator is by price. Probably these around here, Motorola. This would be probably the highest I go. I'd have to mess with this one to see.
Okay.
Like this also says slim, lightweight. That attracts me as well. I don't like really big bulky phones.
Right. Okay. And for you personally, how important is it to have an interactive phone that you can?
Definitely. I'd probably be able to give you a little bit more feedback if we had some other phones here.
Right.
But yeah, it's very important. Even though, like I said, I didn't make my decision on that, but I had enough research. Right. So I'm kind of coming here without any research on these phones. So it might be necessary for me to use the phone to give me an idea.
Okay. So thinking about what we just did, you shopped the unlocked phone section. The next part is on this side. You have an unlocked phone, and now, I mean, and you said that you've done this multiple times, you want to pick a service provider.
Okay.
So can you, first, what are you going to need in order to activate with one of these service providers?
Okay.
And then I'd like to actually shop for plans. So first, tell me, what is it that you need?
So I didn't purchase any of these phones?
Well, yes.
I purchased a phone and I'm coming for a plan?
Exactly, yeah. So I
Okay.
purchased an unlocked phone so that way I can use whoever I want.
Okay. I'll look at the service providers first. I've had Simple Mobile before for a very long time, so I know what they're about. I kind of have an idea of what the plan should be. I guess $40 would be one. Now we'll be looking at the unlimited talk, text, and gigabytes of data.
Okay. So what are you including, what are you excluding?
I like things that have mobile hotspot, so that's something that needs to be necessary.
Okay.
So mobile hotspot is one, it's probably the starting point. So whatever it is, unlimited talking text, unlimited data, even though I know they cap you at a certain, so I'll also be looking for the cap.
Okay.
Where they're saying, okay, once you pass this, you're going to go to reduced speeds.
Okay.
Usually they're all talk text unlimited.
So based on everything that's available here, again, help me understand how you're getting to your top choice.
Okay. So, I would probably start reading these, seeing what the difference is between these two.
Okay.
What's included with it? I know Metro PCS offers Amazon Prime if you buy a certain plan, which I didn't purchase, but my mom did purchase.
Right.
That was something that.
Okay. So let's try to be very specific, right?
Okay.
So there are several providers here, and knowing that this is what's available to you, you want to walk out with the phone and with your service provider of choice. So help me understand how you're getting from all of these down to the one that you're going to eventually walk out and activate. And what is it that you are looking at?
Right now, I'm looking at the difference between the pricing of each option. I'll start with this one.
Okay. And what's standing out in your mind?
When the speeds are reduced.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the mobile hotspot. I'm not really seeing that. Also, that'd be something that I look for deeper. Not really seeing that on these, so that'd be something I would pull out my phone there at that time and say, total wireless, what's the mobile hotspot,
Right.
Is let's say if you got this plan right here, I know maybe you might not be able to have any hotspot. Say you get this one, then you get 3 gigabytes of hotspot, and let's say you get 10. So
Right.
that'd be really one of the things that the first things I'm looking for, because I use that at my home.
And what else are we looking at?
First 100 gigabytes shared data. Wondering why this one is 100 gigabytes and less expensive. Oh, than this one right here. Not understanding that completely, but okay. See, I don't understand why it's. Maybe you can explain it to me.
So in your mind, and I want to make sure we can get to the, you see that this is more expensive per line, but you don't necessarily know why.
Correct.
Okay, so you're looking at the 25 and the 2033.
What I don't understand is why did it say first 100 gigabytes shared data with 4G, and then it goes down to 2G, so 100 gigabytes. And it says over here, say 30 gigabytes, and then it goes down to 2G. Why would the more expensive plan
Have less?
Okay.
Okay.
So right there, I total kind of lost me right there.
Okay.
So I feel like these are too many options right here.
Okay.
Where this seems like more understandable, easier to digest.
Okay.
And I've had them before, so that's something that gives me confidence. I know their service. So this one, see, I would look at this one right here, just because I know I'm going to go over the 3 gigabytes.
Okay.
So I kind of have in my head that I know that I go over like I think 15 gigabytes on my phone. So that's another thing I'm looking at is I don't want to put myself on a plan that I use my phone often for GPS and whatnot. So let's say if I say, all right, I want to be a cheapskate and get this one right here, 10 days into my plan, I know that I'm trying to use my GPS and it's working too slowly. So that's happened before, so I know that I have to get something that's definitely more than 3 gigabytes.
Okay. So we eliminated total wireless because you said there's a lot of confusion about the plans, and even though the price is going up. Okay. Simple Mobile is in a running because you're familiar with the brand, and then you also see the $50.
And this looks pretty. I would probably inquire on this. Second month of service free. That looks like something I'm interested in.
Okay. Let's go ahead and continue down the line.
So this one doesn't really explain to me immediately is how much data am I getting, and then when does it go to reduce speeds? Okay. It says plus 1 gigabyte carryover data, but I'm not really sure what that means, to be honest.
Okay. So is that something?
Yeah, I would like something that's going to be easier for me to understand. This seems much easier for me to understand.
Okay.
The first 3 gigabytes up to 4G, and then it's reduced to 2G.
Right.
This says 1 gigabyte carryover data. I don't know what I'm carrying over to.
Right. Okay.
So,
and what about the rest?
see, this looks easier. Easier. See, this would be something I'd be more interested in just because it's easier to digest. It feels like they're not trying to trick me into getting a plan that's not suitable for me. So,
okay.
$35 a month, roll, gigabytes. Okay, so this would be in the running as well. So I would start looking at
which one?
16 gigabytes, and I would say, okay, this is comparable to the $50 plan over here. So I'm saving $5. Am I going to go over the 16? I'm probably not going to go over the 16. So I would say, yeah, that one's unlimited, but maybe I can save the extra $5 here.
Okay.
Cricket. I'm not looking for multiple lines. I only have my own line, so if it says 4 lines or anything like that. Also, I like to look at what the prices for the unlimited package. So this one right here, and then the $50 one. Therefore, actually, we have the 75 here. So these were, like I said, 15 gigabytes. That's sort of where I'm usually at. Acquiring this since I'm already purchasing a phone, and this is actually my phone right here.
Okay.
So that is a phone that I'd obviously be interested in. This one's talking about auto pay, which I don't really mind, but then that kind of takes away from being a prepaid a little bit. But I don't mind services that offer that. I usually do it anyway.
Right.
That if they give you a $5 or whatever it is off your bill, if you auto pay. I like the auto pay feature in prepaids.
Okay.
This is pretty decent prices for 18.
Okay, so as far as what's still in the running, we eliminated Total Wireless. You said the $50 here looks decent. Here you were looking at the 45 and you made reference to not going over the 16 gigabytes, so that's in the running. You looked at the $60 plan here, and then you looked at the 45 here.
Correct.
So at this point, knowing that you are walking out of the store with your provider of choice, what is it that you are picking?
Okay, I would first inquire, so on my Best Buy, I said, hey,
Yeah.
do you guys have this phone right here?
Okay,
Am I able to
because
get
you're looking for the
here?
discount?
I would get maybe the discount on that.
okay,
I don't like AT&T's phones for some reason. I purchased a phone from them one time and it was terrible, so they should try to go for name brand like Samsung is usually
Right.
the brand that I like the most. So I would ask, hey, you have this phone right here? Yeah, no, okay, that'd be my main thing. And let's see.
and what is it that you're doing now?
Right now, I'm thinking, because if I'm going to purchase the phone and now I'm getting a new service provider, like I said, the service area, I know there's other service coverage except for AT&T. So AT&T would probably just be the one that I would choose at this moment because one, it's a great price. And I see with the auto pay, a $20 discount, so
Right.
I understand that. So I would probably go with the $45 unlimited plan. We'll look at a phone, see which phone would match that plan right there.
Okay.
So do I have to go back and buy a phone?
No, so now we can put the glasses here, and we are going to transition over to the desk.
So glasses on?
Yeah. So you can take them off and then put the little box right there, and then I'll explain what we're doing over here.
It's interesting. I actually used those glasses this past summer at a referee camp.
Oh, really?
So we were repping the entire time, and we can go back and look and see what we were looking at, what calls we missed, what was our partner looking at.
That's pretty cool. So one other thing that we're going to go back over here is now that you know the service provider that you want to go with, can you tell me specifically what you're going to need in order to activate service?
I know you need a SIM card.
Okay.
And for the most part, anytime I've ever gone to, let's say, Simple or AT&T, they usually have given me the SIM card for free, to be honest, or it's only a few bucks.
So over here, what would you be looking for?
On which one? KJ or all of them?
Oh, just on any of them. I mean, what would you be looking for? Because you
As far as
said,
accessories for it?
no, as far as in order to bring your phone, you mentioned that you needed a SIM card.
So am I bringing my phone right now, my own phone?
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
so I brought my own phone, and then going to a carrier.
Yeah, what would you need to buy? And it doesn't matter what carrier you select, I just want to know what would you need to walk out with in order to activate.
The SIM card is the only one that I understand that you need, so I've had this kit before right here, the Simple Mobile. I've changed it myself.
Okay.
So if I brought my own phone, I would just come and let's say if I'm going for AT&T, I really don't see the SIM cards for AT&T. Probably ask somebody. I also know that there's like 2 different types of phones. Some may not be compatible with that service. So they like Sprint, or I'm not sure what it is, but certain providers don't allow you. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Okay. So some of them are SIM, and the other one is some other thing. So.
Okay. So you said you're looking for some sort of SIM card.
I'll just get the SIM card.
Right.
I'll go with Simple Mobile. I grab the SIM card for Simple Mobile. I wouldn't buy the card for. I've never bought any of the cards like this. For the actual the plan, I guess. I usually just buy it online. Okay. So I'll insert the SIM card and I'll pay over the phone, or whatever the case may be.
Perfect. All right. So now we'll transition over here. And in this case, you're going to be sitting by the computer. So in this case, we are activating service, and it's bring your own phone with Simple Mobile. So you purchase the SIM kit. You have the service card. You do have to open, so don't be scared of ripping, scratching, whatever. You are a brand new customer. You want a new number. For any information that you're prompted, you'll use the information that's here. If it's not there, then just make it up.
Gotcha.
Okay? Once you're done, I'll come back in, or if you get stuck or have questions, just raise your hand.
Gotcha. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you. I'll be back. So you're done online. Let's assume that we did the phone next to you, everything worked out fine. Kind of fast forward in time, let's say you've had service for a couple of months, now you're going back to Best Buy. This is your phone. And we are going to go over here. And let's say, and I know that you said you're the type of person that likes to buy online. Give me 1 second. I'm waiting for my team to make sure that I can present. So let's say you were looking for something specific, and you know when you get to the store and they don't have a product available, right? So this is one of those empty pegs. And you see that card there. I'm going to give you one that you can actually hold. I'd like for you to help me understand what that means to you.
This seems like something I wouldn't do.
What does that mean?
If I was there to purchase something, I would obviously ask, and I would look at this and text be there. If I'm going to buy it, like I said, I usually buy it online, so this would be something I said, all right, I feel more comfortable purchasing it the way I usually purchase it instead of this. I'm not sure. I'm going to scan the barcode at the register. I probably wouldn't use this, to be honest.
Okay. So let's follow, and I have this little widget here. You can ignore that, but let's follow the instructions. We can sit back down. Let's follow the instructions, and I'd like your feedback on the steps that you're completing.
Okay. Let's see if it makes me a believer in this process.
Okay. But initially, you're saying this is not something that you would do.
No. I guess this is okay. So I say, do you want me to go with simple as well?
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty cool. But this card in general, right here, it says to me, it just doesn't look like something. Maybe have kind of a diagram or some pictures of how simple it really is, because to me this doesn't look simple when I.
So as you're doing this, and as you're using the program for the first time, I'd like your feedback just on your interaction with it. If something stands out
from here or a plan. Is that what I'm doing right now?
Correct.
Okay. This is actually pretty cool.
So you were trying to figure out how to go back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought this was just maybe showing me all the options. So when I went to click it, then it said $50, get your payment. So I know that it's telling me that this is the $50 one. So I said, okay, let me go back and just to see what the options are before I do purchase it.
Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts on that carousel that you're using?
It looks pretty cool. I actually do like it. This is more intimidating than what it is.
Okay.
So this right here doesn't look like something that most people are going to use. Maybe it needs to be a little friendlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the carousel.
And I see that you keep swiping up in order to
see if I can.
Right.
Maybe
okay.
that because it's at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
So it kind of feels like it's cut off, even though it's not.
Uh-huh.
I think it's cut off. Pull it up.
And then you were swiping up in order to see if you can get a bigger view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it would be nice to maybe swipe it up, and that's what expands it instead of tapping on it.
Okay.
To begin with, I didn't know that it was, you're basically tapping. I thought this was just like, I guess what is a hyperlink, and then you click it and then it would show all the options.
Okay.
And it looked like something that you can scroll through kind of.
Okay. So when you initially looked at it, you weren't even sure if you could interact with it.
Exactly.
Okay. And then the other thing is you said that in order to get to the details for the individual plan, you thought that you would swipe up on the card, and that's what you were doing a couple. Okay.
And right here would be a nice time to maybe hit this, and then maybe it like flips, turns around, and then it has mega details of everything.
Okay.
I guess this is, condensed details. Maybe it has everything you're looking for, but it'd be nice to maybe hit it one more time and it flips and it tells you more information about the plan. And you can exit back and then go back to the next. Okay. Work.
Okay, so it seems like it's frozen.
Yeah, it looks like it's frozen now. There it goes.
Okay. So the responsiveness with the carousel.
I won't, yeah, obviously it needs that. I'm not gonna, not be the phone or whatnot.
Yeah, I see that you're kind of rubbing back and forth in order to move the carousel, and
Yeah.
it's taking a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem very responsive.
That doesn't seem like a big problem to me.
Okay.
I would think it's probably my phone or this phone, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go through the process of, let's say, selecting that plan, right?
You want me to select this one or the one that I would select?
Let's pick the one you would select. And you're trying to swipe, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I see that you also tried to long press on a different card, I guess to bring it to focus, and that didn't work either. Okay. And you're still swiping, and it looks like it's just taking a long time.
And like I told you before, the mobile hotspot is something that I look for. So I like that Simple Mobile's up front. It tells you, hey, 5 gigabytes of the mobile hotspot. I just want to see what the 60 is before I go with the 50 anyway.
So at this point, you personally, what would you do? And you just said the word. So
I'll be patient. I'm a patient person, so if I know I gotta buy it anyway, it's not like I'm gonna say, I'm gonna buy someone else's plan. So
right.
I would just probably I'll wait it out, maybe refresh it. I don't want to refresh it right now because I'm not sure what it's gonna take me. But yeah, now I'm thinking that you guys did this on purpose. Now I'm thinking you did this on purpose to get me angry, but now it's not reacting, so.
Like at all. Okay, so why don't we just, if we can just move forward with that one, yeah. And what does it say, or?
It said there was a problem.
Okay.
I went back to see if I could do it again.
Okay.
I've had technology pretty much my whole life, so, I understand that sometimes there are going to be bugs and you just got to find your way around it, and, usually refreshing does the trick.
Okay.
So now it
looks like it's still doing something.
I'd probably give it some time here.
Is it is it connected to Wi-Fi? Let me.
It says there's a, oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Okay, so you would actually bring this to the Best Buy and they would scan this and then you can pay for it there. Is basically what it's doing. Is that what you think? That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was going to take me to like the website. I can pay there. Okay.
So and again, imagine you're in store. You're trying to look for something to buy. You don't buy because it's not available. You pick it out on this.
I think it's pretty cool. Okay. I actually do like it. Like I said, this doesn't look like something. I think this is something that people will look at and just pass right by it and go ask somebody, hey, do you have this? Right. It's something that Best Buy doesn't have to come up to you and explain, hey, this is how you do it. So it's not self-explanatory. So I think it would be, better if you can educate people how to do this and how simple it really is, because it is pretty simple. Okay. So you're at the cashier. Talk me through what happens next and how are you eventually going to get your service card? Like, hey, how you doing? I was looking for a card over there. Did I have it? But here's the $40 plan. Okay. So you scan that. All right. So we scanned it. Now what? I guess I would pay for it there. Okay. If I had my the SIM card already, I feel like it should be. Now I'm stuck. Okay, why? Now, let me just read it really quickly, guys. Okay. What is it that you're looking for? What question? What would be the next step from purchasing this prepaid plan
Right.
and then activating it to my phone.
Good question.
And that jump from there. So I know I just paid for it.
Right.
Now, what do I do to, so basically it'd be this card right here.
Okay.
So I would understand that. So it's telling me here, airtime pin. Okay. So then I would skip the pin. It'd probably be, okay. Okay, it's pretty cool. So it's basically the same exact thing. It would take me one time to understand it, and then the next time it'd be a little bit easier.
Okay. So what could be said in order to make it clear that you're getting the pin right there?
I think we can go back here. Go here, it's the same link.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe say something, congratulations, now it's time to, next step, activate your PIN. Because it's telling you, hey, here's your PIN, but maybe you don't know what that PIN is for.
Right.
So you never bought it.
Okay.
Go through it again.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, man, I should not press that. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So at that point, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. At that third step right there, maybe something saying, this is how you go from, how you put it to your account.
Okay. All right, last part of this, thinking again about what you just went through, I'm going to show you a series of pictures, and keeping in mind the process that you just did, I'd like for you to tell me which image would help you understand what you were about to do. So it's kind of like you got to see the reveal before you saw the how, if you will. So you already know how. So what I'm going to show you, I'd like gut reaction. Hey, if I saw that, I knew that I would be able to do that. Okay? And we're going to go through a series of images, right? So the first is, I just want you to look at the top part. Which one? Gut reaction. Hey, thinking about what I just did, this is the image that would tell me or best resonate to say, hey, this is what BB is.
Be the first one.
The first one? Why?
Because convenience is, from one person to the next is that difference. What's convenient to one person may not be convenient to another person. So easy, kind of the same thing, but a few clicks away on the same thing. I think easier is more the convenience, especially if it's going to be your first time doing it. Maybe if it's your next time doing it, yeah, convenience is the word to use, but if it's my first time ever doing that, I'll probably go with easy.
Okay. Now looking at the pictures, which one?
That one.
A2?
Because it shows you what probably other people have done before, which use those cards, and it shows you the app, the way of doing it. This, you might not understand that there's a connection between the two.
Okay. Now looking at the flow flyer, which one, A or B?
A as well.
A, and why?
Just for the same reason that you're bridging the connection between the old way of doing it and the new way of doing it. This one, not really sure exactly.
Okay. And then finally, thinking about this being displayed, and let's say it was, like one of the top banners, looking at this, would you even know that we mentioned that whole process that you just went through?
No.
Why?
It doesn't tell me how. It's telling me what you're offering. It doesn't tell me what the process is of going through getting the service.
Okay. Did this stand out at all?
I saw it, but it didn't resonate.
Okay. So if you didn't do BB Year on the phone, and you didn't know what it was, and you didn't have the opportunity to see any of those, and the only thing that you had was just the wording here, easy service plans, text BB Year to 61611,
thing, but the little part that says, oh, we don't have the things, I feel like there needs to be more of a diagram there that says, you know, maybe has a cell phone that says text, this and this right there, and then the next one, it shows you the options. Maybe just as small, but at least it gives you a, you know, step by step. That right there, you're not really sure what you're gonna get from that, so, in my opinion.
Okay, so text by itself doesn't necessarily tell you.
I rarely do anything that tells me the text and you're gonna do something. I rarely do anything like that.
Okay. All right, and with that, we're finished. All right, so make sure you have, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So you have all your stuff, don't forget your coffee.
Thank you, hopefully I helped out.
Absolutely, yeah. No, thank you very much for being very methodical. And there's a short survey that we're going to fill out in the lobby. And then after that,